Alrighty, boys, we are back. Welcome back to Scheme Kings. Now, today we are continuing our veer and shoot offense. So last week I put out the intro video for this scheme. Now today up on the main YouTube channel, we have kind of the first part of this video with the Baylor offense. We're going to be doing Baylor RG3. That's kind of the original veer and shoot scheme. They absolutely broke records, blew up the scoreboard. RG3 won the Heisman Trophy. Second overall pick. Art Briles was kind of the offensive mind behind this offense. Make sure you guys go watch the intro video of the whole scheme that I put out last week, because I really explained kind of the idea behind the veer and shoot with the wide splits and option routes. And we are out of the Mississippi State playbook, but you can run it out of all this stuff is basically in any of the veer and shoot playbooks. So like Tennessee, Mississippi State, Oklahoma has a lot. Ole Miss has quite a bit. Tennessee, I don't know if I said them. You can run most of this stuff out of any of those playbooks. Yeah, it really explosive offense. Going to be a ton of wide splits, option routes, QB runs, obviously like RG3 ran in real life when he was at Baylor. Now, the three formations we are going to be looking at for this scheme, for this part of the video, and we do have two other full offenses after this one coming up with Tennessee under Josh Heupel and then Lane Kiffin's Ole Miss team. But the three formations we are looking at are wide slot right weak, wide slot left weak, and then wide 5 wide receiver. So wide 5 wide receiver, we have some really good option plays, choice deep drag. We have the RPO bubble QB draw, which is very good. We have deep choice drag. Scissors is really good. Cross Z dig. So lots of options there. Z screen is another play we look at. When we go over to wide slot left weak, we have this really nice exit kind of cheat motion 2-play sequence with X RPO alert screen and exit PA fake screen. We have QB slot option, which I like. We have PA slide. We have two different options for PA slide as well. Then if we go over to wide slot right weak, we have this running back motion series we can run. So it starts with motion RPO QB power, which is really good. We have the motion double pass. We have motion slot cross, and that works versus man or zone. Then we also have RPO read Y flat, which is really good. And I really like PA deep choice and slot choice. So two more kind of option route plays in this offense as well. So that is kind of where we're at with this Baylor offense. Like I said, make sure you guys go check out that main video. Broke down, I think, like 8 or 9 plays there. We have 9 more plays here. So that's going to give you guys 18 plays you can start working with this offense. So it's going to be, you're going to be off to a really good start here. So that is it. Let's get into the breakdown. I'll show you guys all these setups live. All right, so we're going to be starting off in the formation wide slot left weak first with the play speed option. So how I like to run this is I like to run the speed option to the wide side of the field. Then we can also motion over our tight end. We do have some other plays between wide slot left weak and wide slot right weak where we do motion the tight end. So it can help it kind of just bring it all together. Plus it just makes him actually get out and block a little bit because he kind of runs this counter, then comes back over. So I like to motion him. Does help him just kind of get out a little bit. But speed option, going to get on the outside here. We're trying to suck defenders into the quarterback. Robert Griffin III was a really athletic quarterback. We're trying to suck defenders in, bring him in, and then when we do bring all those guys in, then we can pitch it out to our running back, get him out into open space. So nice option here. Motion this guy over. He's going to counter, and see how now he's actually going to be able to pick up a linebacker here because we motioned him over. Bring all these guys in. We actually get hit, are able to pitch this ball out, get it to K9, our athletic running back, get into open space. This works really good on the goal line as well. Like this on the goal line. Bring all these guys in. Boom. Look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 defenders come in on the QB, and we can just pitch it right out. Speed options, really good goal line. Nice, just, way to incorporate our QB, get our athletic running back in space. Then obviously the other part of this is if they start overcommitting like this to the running back on the outside, don't worry about pitching it. Keep it with your QB, get downhill, make a play with his legs. So that is our speed option. Now we're looking at the play PA slide. So this can work versus man and zone. This is going to be the zone setup first. So gain zone coverage, come out with our corner route to the wide side of the field, and you can basically just run this play stock. Don't have to run any adjustments. So it can be a really good quick snap play. Can be, just a nice play that you don't even have to think about. Very simple read. So it's going to be a play action We have player to the flat, we have a deep corner route, then a crosser coming over the middle. So we have 2 checkdowns, corner route, crosser. Corner route is always kind of our first place I want to look, and I'm basically just reading the flat defender. Here he is right here. He's kind of staying shallow, not getting super deep underneath this, or getting underneath our corner route here. So we can just drop that corner route in along the sideline. The nice thing with this corner route too, because in these wide sets, so all these like Veer and shoot formations are called wide. They'll be called wide slot left weak, or they'll be called wide slot right weak, or wide trips, or whatever. That means that these guys' splits are super wide. Like you'll see, this guy's like 3 yards from the sideline. Then even the slot receiver, instead of being right here, he's out here. So the nice thing with this corner route is it actually stems in, then breaks out. So it's actually going to give you more room along the sideline. If he just runs a normal corner route like that, it makes the throw super tight. So here, watch, he actually stems in a little bit. So he's going to actually run in, then break out, which is going to give us more room along the sideline to fit that in. So that's just another nice thing with this play itself. PA slide here. So one thing you can do too right here, I thought they were going to maybe bring a blitz. So I blocked my running back. So now we just have one less check down, but the play is going to work the exact same way. Corner route on this outside, you can see him break this in. Watch how he kind of like rounds it in. Boom, flat defender stays shallow, gives us lots of room out on the sideline. Drop it in into the bucket, easy completion, first down. Okay, left side again, we can read that out. Now, if we look out here and we don't like the look of it, we got jammed, and then they either are running man or match coverage of the top, taking this route away. That is where we can look inside to the crosser. So we always want to look here. So this is actually match coverage. Look here, taken away. We see the hooks are kind of staying shallow. That's going to give us the deep cross coming in behind them, and that is where we just want to drop that ball in. So look to that corner route, then to the deep cross over the middle. Then our last options here are going to be our check down. So on this play, you're going to see I actually blocked my running back because once again, I thought this guy had been blitzing a little bit. So we do have 2 checkdowns out on either side. Here we only have 1 though, so it's 3rd and 3. Flats getting underneath our corner route. Crosser, users kind of playing over the middle, so we can check it down in the flat. 3rd and 3, we pick up a first down. Okay, now we have PA slide versus man coverage. So be very similar setup. Okay, so this, I didn't actually set it up versus man here. So I'm still running the zone setup. I kind of have my clips, I think, not totally organized how I wanted them. But here, crosser does beat man. So first up, we have a corner route and a crosser. Both these just beat man coverage very well. So we can look to the corner, look to the crosser. Here we hit the crosser over the middle. Nice completion. Now, okay, this is actually how I like to set this play up. We have a deep crosser backside. That's fine. So we come out with our corner route to the wide side, crosser backside. I like to block the tight end and put the running back on a Texas route. Crosser, Texas, corner route, deep post is kind of, so that's a super deep post on the outside that you could maybe go to at some point, but don't usually. Here, crosser again, corner route, go to either one. Here we fired into the crosser for a nice gain. Here we can work the corner route as well. He's going to go in, then break out, which is going to make him, give him a lot more room along the sideline. Drop that in, that corner route in along the sideline for a really nice pickup. And then we also have our Texas route over the middle, and we can, here I turn this guy into a deep cross or a post. So that's the other adjustment I'll kind of do, is take this solo route and actually change his route. Because now that stock deep post he's on is almost too deep. So if you put him on more of just a deep cross or a post, actually probably works a little bit better, and it gives us another deeper option over the middle. So now deep crosser, fire that in, rack catch away from this guy, and we're in. So now we have a crosser coming this way, crosser coming this way, plus our corner route. Then our last option is going to be our running back on the Texas route over the middle. So if they bring a blitz, anything like that. So this is man coverage. The user was actually responsible for the Texas route here. He leaves them, and we are just wide open, which sometimes usually the user is going to guard the guy on the running back. The nice thing with Texas routes is it almost sometimes looks like they're staying into block. Like watch right here. It almost looks like he's going to block this guy, which now, and he actually does jam him, which is why I think the user actually is like, oh crap, I don't have to guard him. I'll help over here. Now the Texas route is wide open. So that is the 4th option there. Works really, really well. And I don't know why I tried to hurdle there. Okay. Now we're moving on to wide slot right weak. And we have the play RPO read Y flat. So really good play rate here. Really like this RPO. I like to run it with the bubble to the short side of the field. And we're going to have a read option to start on the wide side, but we're also going to have our tight end zipping out to the flat. So we want to read this read icon player. And right here, he crashes down. All the defenders crash down. We can keep it with our QB. But the great part of this is I see, okay, these two guys are going to be able to track me down. I have a one-on-one matchup out here. We have a blocker, so we can just fire it out to our tight end. Our receiver blocks this guy on the edge, and our tight end rips up the sideline for like a 30-yard gain. These RPOs are super, super deadly, guys. Super hard to take away. Read this guy here, crashes, boom. I pull with my QB. Now I can drop it out to this guy, one-on-one block out here. Now he just has to beat this one guy to the corner, no problem, and we are in for the score. So that's great. Here, read option player, read icon, crashes. Now, if we look out here, this guy does a way better job of actually getting out over the top of that. So now we can just keep it with our QB. We have multiple blockers out in front, spin move, get out of bounds. So that is the dichotomy of this play. You have a ton of different options. I think we have one more here where I keep it with my QB. So crashes, pull it. I could go to either, right? I could drop it out to this guy, but we have a lot of green grass with our QB here. I do a little juke back inside, sprint up the sideline, get out of bounds. So, really, really nice dynamic way to use our quarterback. Read this player. If you don't like the look of this on the outside, he's collapsing, or not collapsing, sorry, kind of playing up, taking away the QB, hand this ball off on the goal line, and we get in for the touchdown. So that works. And then the last part of this play, so we have all that working on the wide side. The last part of this play is we still have the bubble going out the other way. So we have a ton of pressure being put here, but if they overplay and they don't respect the bubble on the short side of the field, we can just drop it out. So pre-snap, if I see this guy crashing down or just staying static, we can just drop it out to our bubble. We have a one-on-one block on the outside. We get it in a playmaker's hands. We can do a nasty juke spin, turn up the sideline. We turn that into like 30 yards. So RPO read Y flat. Excellent, excellent play. Okay, next up we have the play slot choice in wide slot right weak. Now I accidentally cut it off with one of my adjustments, but basically what we do is our tight end starts on this side of the ball. I want to put him on a streak and motion him over. So now he's going to be on the opposite side. So yeah, streak, motion him over. We want to come out with our slot receiver to the wide side, then take the outside receiver on the wide side and put him on a corner route, okay? Put him on a corner route. That is super important for this play. And basically, this play is a great cover 3 beater. This is called slot choice, and this slot receiver here is on this choice route. So if he gets a free release and isn't jammed, I'm just going to kind of go over all the different things he'll do. So if he gets a free release, he's under our show play thing here. But if he gets a free release against single high, so one high safety here, free release, he'll continue up the seam. If he gets jammed at the line by this player, then he's actually going to run a hitch and sit up in the zone, sit down. Then if it's 2 high safeties and they run zone, now he's going to option to this post and attack the middle of the field. Okay. But I love this number 1 against single high. Now we're going to watch this corner rate or this safety right here, the down flat player, and he's not going to jam our guy. He's going to get a free release. So when we see that, we know, okay, he's not going to hitch up. He's going to sprint down the seam. But I want you to watch this corner here. See how he kind of chops his feet? Watch the corner on the outside. This is from the corner route. Watch the corner right here. He chops his feet. See how he kind of stops for half a second and turns his hips? Just watch how he turns his hips. See how he turns his hips for half a second? If you don't put him on a corner route, he won't do that. Now we can hold this ball and actually pass lead it inside and split those guys. If I break a tackle there, I'm going to score. This safety just comes over the top, but that's like a 30, 40 yard gain down the seam because we see that guy flip his hips. We're going to run it again right here. Now I want you to watch. We also, if we don't see the receiver corner kind of flip his hips, we can throw it earlier and pass lead it up the seam right there and kind of highball it in between these two. So you can kind of throw this 2 different ways. You can really wait till he gets down the seam and try to pass lead it up and away, or pull it back and drop it inside of these 2 players. Boom, right there. And the reason we also motion this tight end over is because he's going to be helping hold this guy in the middle of the field. See, now he can't just run over to the seam right away. Just going to help this get open way easier. Now, the other part of this, though, is if we look to the outside here and we get jammed, then this guy is going to sit down. So as soon as I see that, I don't really like the sit down route. Right? Single high, he gets jammed. That means he's going to sit down. So what I'll actually do is now I'll look to the other seam. And as long as the user isn't riding right down the field with him, I'll actually throw the tight end up the other seam. So you can attack either seam. Here we hit the tight end. Now, against 2 high, what did I say? So 2 high safety, 1 high, 2 high. Now this route is going to turn into a post over the middle, and we're going to have this tight end clearing guys out. So now drops back, 2 high safeties. Tight end is going to clear guys out, and this slot receiver is going to run a post right in behind him in that soft spot, and we can just throw that post route right there. So that's that slot choice. That is our number 1 route we want to go to on this play. Then kind of the other thing we can do is we can work the wide side of the field. So if we don't like the look of the seam ball, we don't like the look of the tight end here, we have running back to the flat, and this guy usually is going to run a curl against a single high defense. Right here, flat jumps down. We can throw the curl as he sits down in the zone. Or if at the snap, we see the flat defender getting underneath that curl as he sits down, then we can throw the running back in the flat, try to make some guys miss, 1st and 10, and we actually get pretty glitchy there and turn that into like a 14-yard gain. So there is slot choice, really, really good option. Okay, now we have the play motion slot cross, and this is versus man coverage. So we have a version of this where we run it versus zone coverage on the main YouTube video. Here we have it versus man coverage. Now, only adjustment I make difference here is usually this guy's on a like bubble screen, motion to the outside, the running back. I'm just going to block him. Then I want to take my tight end and put him on an option route. Now this option route, if they do call zone, he'll sit down. Versus man coverage, he'll either run inside or outside. So there we go. The other thing you can do, this guy's on a post, but I don't love these post versus man coverage. You could repost him on the hot routed post and it'll get to more of this area of the field, and that can give you another option versus man. So have your 2 wide receivers to the wide side, option route, block running back, and then optionally you can put repost this guy if you want. Now, right here, we have deep dig, deep crosser. Now right here, the timing of this gets kind of weird because they jam the slot, but these are our 2 routes we want to look to. Usually the spacing's a little better, but here we go throw the deep dig as he breaks in. But both these routes work really good against man. Here it is again. So we're going to have crosser, dig. Here I didn't block my running back because I didn't know if they're in man. But here we have the crosser, gets kind of caught up. Then we have the dig coming in behind them. So both those work really good. Here's going to be the crosser right here now though. Same opponent. Definitely knew he was running man coverage here. So we're going to have the crosser coming into the middle of the field. Boom. Absolutely lose this guy. I just bought time because I wanted to keep it away from the user. Boom. Fire it in. User tries to jump in there, but we juke him out. Score a touchdown and right before the half to put us up 21-14. That was 4th and 10 too. Then lastly, we have the option route underneath as well. So option route, he's going to sit down versus zone, but against man coverage, and this is the user having to guard him, he's going to run either out or in. Here he runs out, absolutely loses the user, and we get a walk-in touchdown. So there we go. There's motion slot cross like that versus man. Okay, now we're looking at our last formation, and it is going to be gun wide 5 wide receiver. And the first play we're looking at is Z screen. So usually I like to run the Z screen to the wide side of the field, the actual screen. We're gonna have 2 blockers out in front, just a nice little screen pass. If we don't want to have to throw the ball every time, throw it inside, 2 blockers in front, 2nd and 3, we turn that into like a 7-8 yard gain. This isn't a crazy play, but it's just another option when, we want to get this ball out quick. Everyone's dropping out, throw this screen pass underneath, get upfield, turn that into a 9-yard gain. The other thing I like about this screen pass is we do have these options here on the backside because this screen is not good versus man coverage. Right here, you're going to see man coverage, and what you'll see is this player will run right down with the screen. And if you try to throw that, most of the time, he'll just step in front and pick it. So if you see that, oh, it's man coverage, now we have the corner route and this little square in, and we can go to either one. So here we run the little square in because I don't like that route, fire it in, make a guy miss, and now we can turn this upfield and we are gone. So against man coverage, work that 2 wide receiver side. Versus zone coverage, work that screen pass. So that is our Z screen. Next up, we have cross Z dig. So for cross Z dig, you can run this basically no adjustments, I believe. Come out with your trips to the wide side, and I believe this guy's already on a streak. If he's not, streak him. I think he already is, but otherwise, we have a deep cross, stalk, dig, whip, and kind of an option route here. So yeah, trips to the wide side, put this guy on a streak if he's not. I can't remember off the top of my head if he is or not, but that is it. Okay, first route we want to look for. This is basically why cross is a super popular air raid concept. You can look at the hitch right away if you want, or you can wait for the crosser to come across the field. So we have this dig, or the hitch kind of holding everyone down. Then we have the crosser coming in behind him. We see how the user has to stay down on the cross. That lets us open up the dig up along the sideline. So you can kind of throw that later as the cross gets in behind, or you can throw the crosser early. So right here, if we see nobody in the middle of the field, as soon as this crosser breaks in, this is man coverage, and he just gets inside of this guy, we can throw that right away. So you don't have to wait till that crosser gets over to the sideline. You can throw it early or a little bit later. So crosser's our first option. Now, next we have the dig. So if we're running the crosser and we see the crosser pull everyone out of the middle of the field, then we have the dig coming in behind him. So look at the user here, other linebacker here on that crosser. Now we have the dig right here attacking the middle. So replacing kind of where that flow came from. I actually threw this a little bit late and that's why I was a bit tighter of a throw, but fire it in for a really nice pickup. Okay, same thing. You can read your crosser. Then we have our hitch underneath. So that's kind of actually where I'll look to almost right at the snap. I'll have my eyes on this hitch, and because it's really easy to kind of look to the hitch. Hitch is open, quick throw it. If not, then you can start to look for that crosser coming in behind it. But right here, our eyes are on here. They're running zone. This hitch is going to just sit up. And if I see him just sitting up 3rd and 4 right here, I mean, we can just throw that in, fire it in. He sits down versus zone. I try to get out of bounds because we're running 2-minute drill, and we fire that in. Then we also have on the other side, we have a whip. So we have a whip breaking out. So now we have check down options kind of on either side. Throw that whip route, drop it in for 9 yards. So that is cross Z dig. Lastly, we have the play deep choice drag, and this is out of 5 wide receivers. Set this up, come out with your trips to the wide side here as in the middle of the field, so it didn't really matter. Then take your solo receiver and either put him on a streak or a bang 8. He's just a clear out route. Usually he's on an option route where he can sit down against zone. I like him just as a clear out. Pull everyone back. Then we have a deep cross here, stalk. And then we have 2 option routes on the backside. Now, quickly we'll touch on the option routes. So if they're running single high like they are here, both of these option routes here are going to run about 10 to 12 yard hitches, or in between 10 and 15 yard hitches. They're just going to sit down versus the zone against a 2 high look like that. Now this guy's still going to sit down, but now this guy on the outside is going to run a post in behind him. Then against man coverage, most of the time, they're just going to be, this guy's going to run a dig now, and this guy will run a post. So they'll both try to run away from their man. So that is basically how this works. Now, my first place I actually really look is this deep crosser though. Either cover 2 or cover 3, like 2 high or single high, because this deep crosser is just really effective. We have a drag coming underneath that can pull guys down. Then we have the crosser coming in behind him. We have a clear out route pulling everyone back. And if he's open, we can just drop that in right there, fired him for a nice game. So that was against cover 3. Now, single high, what did I say? Our 2 option routes out here are just going to sit down versus the zone. So right here, crosser is going to come across the field. We have matching hitch or like sit routes. So this is 1st and 10. So they're running out about 15 yards. They're both just going to sit down in the zone here. You can go to either one. Here I go to the inside slot right there, fire it in for a nice gain. So those are 2 sit routes, how they work against single high. Now we have 2 highs. So 1 safety, 2 safeties right here. So now this guy, like I said, is still going to run that sit route, but now this guy's going to run a post over the middle. So we have a crosser. We can hit that, but if he pulls everyone out of the middle, we're going to have a deep post coming in behind him, which works really, really well. So now crosser coming over the top. Boom. That's going to pull these guys over here. We have this guy sitting down in the zone. And now what do we have behind him? We have that deep post replacing in behind that crosser right there. Deep post option into the middle of the field works really well. Now against man coverage, like I said, which I think that's what this is here. Oh no, this is zone again. Yeah, and this is just another one where this guy breaks in. So we have the crosser pulling these guys out right there. We can go to that crosser still, or we can throw that dig or the other post as he breaks in, and we see that other option route is sitting down, which we also could throw. Like, let's say this linebacker started to run with this guy, then we can throw that route as he sits down. But here we throw that post in behind him. Then I think we have one against man coverage here. So crosser obviously going to run away from man. We have our dig underneath, gonna run away from man. Then we have a post over the top. We have 3 routes just all sprinting across the field, trying to run away from their man coverage. Here we throw it to the 3rd guy on the outside, that deep post, get it into his hands, almost outrun these guys, but we turn that into a really, really big gain. Then the last part of this play is gonna be our drag coming across the field, and this is just our check down. So this is the same versus cover 3, cover 2, man coverage. If you need a route, you know, everything's kind of covered deep, don't like the look of it, then we can throw that drag right there, drop it in, we pick up, you know, a first down. So that is it, guys. That is our RG3 Baylor offense. Make sure you guys go check out the main YouTube channel video as well. And obviously go combine all you learned there with what you got here. Gonna give you like 18 plays. Still have the Lane Kiffin offense and the Tennessee Josh Heupel offense. And then next week and later on, we are getting back into some Madden defense as well. I'm still doing my Belichick defense. I'm just gonna kind of be flopping back and forth between these 2 schemes. So that is what's upcoming. Thanks everybody who's rocking with Scheme Kings. And that is it. King Reggie out.